gonna completely cut that out. That was just for us.
No, you do the clap, and what'll be great is if you cut the clap out, then me going, huh? People think like I'm a robot that just sits here until you're like, all right, Rob, turn on and talk about the movie. Like,
That's right.
just
Now,
power up.
now they're just like, what did he cut out? What's
Especially
the
when I'm
extra
looking in your
stuff?
direction and be like, holy shit, I think Phil whipped his cock out.
PG, Rob. Yeah, right. All right.
Do you want to try to make this one? You want to try to make the fucking Suicide Squad PG? That's the one we'll do PG.
It's totally
All
PG.
the other ones actually had
This one will be TG.
TG. That's right. Only for French audiences or Greek. See, you keep on waiting for me to
Teen
talk.
guidance.
Teen guidance.
Oh, parental guidance is PG.
I wouldn't mind some teen guidance, if you know what I'm saying.
You were told by the police to stop that.
They said I could do it on the podcast, just not in person.
Welcome to our episode devoted to... Welcome to Because Movies, our episode devoted to the Suicide Squad. That's not helpful.
Oh.
Hey, Rob, the Suicide Squad, the new one.
What?
The Suicide Squad, the new one.
You say.
Not-
the hell you say.
Not the old one that had
From
Will
4 years
Smith.
ago.
It was cut like a trailer. That was the whole problem with the previous one. It
Did
was
you know-
cut like a trailer by idiots.
I
and-
learned that. So they made the first one,
Yeah,
and so what they do is they send it to like a trailer house, right? And a trailer house makes a trailer.
yeah.
The executives at DC saw the trailer and said, this is going to be a better movie. And then they saw Ayer's cut and they were like, this is a shit movie. So they brought in the guys that made the trailer and asked them to recut the movie.
That's
and then
what I'm
they
getting to, yeah.
They showed the audiences both fucking versions, and the audiences hated both.
And they went with the trailer one.
Yep.
And and a lot of people would like to see the original cut, but I don't think we're going to get. I don't think we're going to get it.
I wouldn't be interested. I
would like to see how it's different, how it's cut different.
I just well we'll talk.
I
about
would
it
like
when
to
we
see
get
the
to
Snyder cut.
the Snyder cut of fucking.
That'd be
of
awesome.
the Suicide
They
Squad. Can you imagine?
They redo the whole
Could
movie.
Could it make darker?
This-
Imagine
this
Harley
is
Quinn's
the
fucking
Snyder
suit,
cut.
super dark.
This is the Snyder cut, pretty much.
What, this? No.
This is more like the
no.
Avengers cut.
Zack Snyder does not have the writing and certainly not the directing capability to make something like this.
Would that have been Whedon?
Who that made the Avengers?
Avengers.
Yeah, that would have been Whedon is Avengers.
Oh, we can't use him anymore.
Whedon can write dialogues of a group of people, but he can't direct a group of people in an action scene. That's why, like, think of Avengers. At the end of Avengers, when they're all fighting, well, honestly, you care because you care about these guys because they've been built up in these shows. Like, you've watched Captain America, you've watched all the stuff, and you care about those characters.
Mm-hmm.
In Suicide Squad, probably one of my favorite. There's a lot of favorites things I have about this new Suicide Squad.
You're thrown in.
But you're thrown into it, and he does quick little things to make you care about each character. You know, none of them. The only one that you could argue feels a little bit forced is a conversation on the truck. But
Are we talking about this one or the last one?
the last, I've tried to dispense the last one from my memory. It was terrible. It was
pretty
so
bad.
terrible.
Yeah.
But the girl that played Cara Delevingne or Devil, whatever her name is, the girl that played the
The witch. Yeah.
girl's hot, man.
Yeah. Anyway, we have to get him away from these things.
Stop talking about perverted things.
Yeah. So, Suicide Squad, 2021.
Man.
I before giving a rating or anything, I loved it.
Oh, I fucking loved it. I had a ball.
It had that kind of had that like small soundstage type feel to it in a lot of moments, but it still worked. I like it when it feels like it's more open, like they are actually on location and doing all these things, which they probably were in some.
In some scenes, yeah, a lot of it you can tell was green screen. Not as bad as you could with Loki, but you knew obviously it had to be a fucking green screen.
Yeah.
But I had a fucking ball. So
From the get go.
absolutely, yeah.
I loved the whole fool you moment. Yeah,
And
which we'll get
oh
into.
fuck, man. So my sons badly wanted to see this movie, and I knew that there was.
Oh,
I knew it was violent.
I
But
want my son to see it, but
My boy, I know your son's I think younger than
7.
me. Yeah. My sons fucking loved it.
I'm sure they
had
did, yeah.
a ball. They love fucking King Shark. He was the funniest thing in the fucking world, apparently. But so they're not.
To be fair, my son would love it, but there's a lot of gore.
Yeah, but see, from the gore is like comic booky gore.
Yes.
It's never
Yeah.
like it's. I always compare it to like Evil Dead gore. Like Evil Dead gore is so over the top that you cannot take this seriously.
I don't know how, but I'd love to have a toned down, like a PG version. Just like, I don't know how they do it.
It wouldn't
It'd
be
be
as
nice if they
enjoyable,
thought
but
of
it
that
would
ahead
work.
of time.
Yeah, I don't. But see, I'm willing to bet that James Gunn was like, okay, I'm not going to do that. I want to make a version that's as balls out over the top as I can.
Yeah.
And DC was just hurting for anything from him that they were like, fuck, dude, whatever you want to do.
Well, that was when he got kicked from Marvel.
Yep. You got-
For I don't think it was anti-Semitic. It was something.
No, I think it
else,
was a
wasn't
tweet against. I believe it was anti towards disabled people.
It's
some
one of
comment
those
about-
things where you say something stupid, and at the time it doesn't really mean anything to anyone, but then it comes back to bite you later on, and it's like, well, he's learned. Like, hopefully, he's learned his lesson. How do you know he hasn't?
Cancel culture is one of the idea of cancel culture is a good idea to hold people accountable.
Yes.
But cancel culture has, just like woke culture, has gone out of control, and eventually
It can go out of control.
see, I think
There
it has,
there are.
personally.
It depends on who's doing. It depends on the situation.
Okay.
If it's someone who's still doing those things, or has done things
or
that
has
are,
not learned from their mistake.
or done things horrible that can't be forgiven, like to at this point, like if you were saying the N word over and over and over and over and over, and like now maybe you don't say it because you know better, but that you still said the N word over and over and over. That's what Hulk Hogan's dealing with right now.
Which is that fucks with my head. That Hulk Hogan, and it's not because like, look, I understand that Hulk Hogan, sure, he can be racist. I don't give a fuck, but
I do,
but he worked in an industry with so many different races of people, and he would have to work with them so closely.
also that industry was racist.
Really, was it really?
Well, everything was. We've gone into this on the show. Everything was a
Yeah,
stereotypical thing.
That's right. I remember that.
It was now it's not as bad, but
no, that's a great point. I
but
forgot
it
about
was
that.
it was like, think of every black wrestler back then.
They're all a gimmick. Yeah,
Junkyard Dog was a typical grave. It was a typical garage
mechanic guy.
junkyard. Yeah, mechanic, and
Junkyard mechanic.
Coco Beware.
Yeah, Coco Beware was a little racist. A little.
Little. There
Superfly
are a
Snuka,
lot of
yeah.
Farouk.
Fucking who's the big Chinese guy, the big fat
Jimmy
Chinese dude?
Snuka was definitely
No,
a
there was
big
a
one.
great big Chinese dude.
Oh, Yokozuna,
Zuna,
who was
it was.
actually Samoan,
I just
portraying a Japanese character.
Remember, he would always sit there and just at the camera. That was his fucking gimmick.
Bonsai!
My favorite, and it always will be, man, was fucking Paul Bearer. Every now and then, even in the house, I'll walk around like, oh, doing that because I loved. He was so
was the
goddamn
best,
funny.
yeah.
He was so stupid.
I think his last name was Moody.
No, it was fucking Bear. Paul Bear.
You told me. Anyway, let's get to the movie. Task Force X, a squad of inmates from Belle Reve Penitentiary, are sent to the South American island nation of Corto Maltese after the government is overthrown by an anti-American regime. Under orders from intelligence officer Amanda Waller, the squad is tasked with destroying Jotunheim, a Nazi-era laboratory that holds a secretive experiment known as Project Starfish.
Now, let's compare what the original Suicide Squad from 2016 would do with this one's storyline. And I tell you right now, here's what would happen. They would have a scene where everyone's got to sit. They got to talk. This is our objective.
In a bar.
We've got to destroy it. And it would be a serious fucking scene with no comedy, and it would just be straight exposition. And like, all right, guys, now go and get your gear.
And then the odd Harley Quinn line.
But and out of nowhere,
Yeah.
be like, I like apples, and then back to fucking whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
And then they would have a scene where they're all getting their gear and they're figuring
And she's
right.
yeah.
But this was done so well. Like it was just it's hard to explain, especially for someone that doesn't know how to fucking write movies. But it was so it was just kind of quippy and fun and light.
Yeah,
and kept going.
you go into it and you're like, okay, we're gonna get into this. Here's the intro of these characters, and you're like, these aren't the characters, except for one or two.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, they did a switch on us. That's cool. I like that.
But I love the introduction of Harley Quinn. She just pops in the side of the fucking chopper and says, "Hey guys, I'm coming. Sorry, I had to do a number 2." And Flag goes, "Oh, that's more than we wanted to know." And that's Harley's intro. No big deal. There was nobody that had a big deal. Like,
That's because she's enough of a big deal on her own, which they got. They figured that out. That's
yeah,
great.
and with the Bloodsport, they were like, "Yeah, this guy put fucking Superman in the ICU." You're like, "Oh shit." That's why they want him. No fucking backstory. No big fucking pointless ordeal like they did with the first
They're
one.
like, you can just read comic books, figure it out
But it's also, is it important? It's one of the things I always bring up to Karen. Is
later.
all that
Not
shit
important. Yeah.
but yeah, it's in the grand scheme of things, it's not super duper important. You know what I mean?
And I love that Pete Davidson was one of the characters. He's
Oh.
awesome. He's awesome. Like, because he's almost like his character in SNL that's just like, hey, what's up?
I don't like Pete Davidson.
I love him.
I was very glad to see what happened to Pete Davidson.
Okay, so they
Well, hold on. I just have to say, it was 7 o'clock in the morning. Boys woke me up. I'm like, boys, we're watching this movie.
wow, that early, he just went at it.
We were fucking all psyched for it.
Nice.
And we all get down here, we're all watching it. And
In 4K.
in 4K. Elliot did not like the bird getting killed in the start, where he's what was Michael Rooker's character's name? Oh crap! It doesn't matter.
But it's just like an all of a sudden thing, right?
Yeah, and he's throwing this ball around his thing,
That's right.
and then it hits a bird, and the bird's dead. He just grabs a ball and wipes some blood off in his pants. And my youngest son he's an animal lover, man, and he was like, "Oh, he killed that bird." I go, "He's a bad guy." He's like, "Oh yeah."
I think these intros were brilliant.
Oh,
And Rooker.
Michael Rooker.
Yeah, he just plays it so well.
Savant. That's his name.
He plays it so well, especially like his end. Anyway, okay, I was gonna go into Fast and Furious.
Jesus Christ. How do you confuse this and Fast and
A
Furious?
team led by Waller's subordinate Colonel Rick Flag is almost entirely wiped out. So this team that they just introduced for 20 minutes, 15
yeah.
minutes maybe,
But
just go into action and you're like, yeah, and they're like totally brutally taken out.
brutally obliterated. Like, I was so happy to see Pete Davidson. Guys, I'm the one that called you. And they're like, shit, whatever he's called.
Yeah, he turned on the whole
Super Dude double crossed us, and they shoot him in the face, and his whole fucking face explodes. I'm down here watching the boys, and I'm like, woo! And the boys are like, oh shit, this is pretty violent.
This set the stage. This set the tone of the movie.
Fucking right. I love they're in the copper. They're in the chopper going over. The weasel. Every time they had the weasel on screen, I was laughing because he's
awesome.
like,
He's
And
still
they're like-
alive, right? From the
Yeah,
whole
in the
movie.
end.
So
But
they
he's-
could use him later.
I love at the end. He goes, Pete Davidson, what the fuck is this thing? Is it a dog? And then Captain Boomerang goes, how many fucking dogs you know that look like that? Is it a werewolf? You only fucking look
No,
like a werewolf.
one of his lines is, well, I haven't seen all the dogs.
And then, but I do like that Rick Flag goes, no, it's a fucking weasel. It's fine. He's harmless. I mean, he did eat like 20 kids, but he's mostly harmless. Like, fucking lines like that are delivered so quickly that they're just fucking great.
The weasel can't get his own movie or TV show, but I would love for him to come back and do like little cameos here and there.
I love the bulging eyes, and he's always like, "Bah." Every time I was dying.
Not secretly, want a Pete Davidson / Weasel show.
No. Pete Davidson is a fucking weasel.
Yeah.
So he's enough of a fucking weasel to watch in.
I wonder who. I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a cameo, like whoever played Weasel.
Yes. You don't know who's playing the weasel?
No,
Sean Gunn, his brother.
really?
Yeah, remember
Okay.
and remember Calendar Man when in the thing with the guy that turns around with all the tattoos on him that's making fun of I don't think it's
Polka Dot?
Bloodsport.
No.
He's making fun of Bloodsport. Or no, he's making fun of Polka Dot Man.
Yeah.
That's right. That's his brother, Sean Gunn. That's the
Oh,
same
I'll
guy
have
that
to-
did
I'll
all
have to look at
the mocap suit for Rocket. He always puts his brother in his movies.
Cool. That is cool. Okay. So they get blown up,
Brutalized,
get
destroyed.
killed.
Except
it was
for
awesome.
Harley Quinn and Rick Flag.
Yeah, and we leave it at that. This allows a second team comprising of Bloodsport, Peacemaker, how do I say this? Nanoa?
I couldn't remember. I was calling King Shark.
Oh, it's probably Samoan, right? Or something like that.
Abu Dhabi.
Polka Dot Man
He's Asian in wrestling.
and Ratcatcher 2.
How
Because
awesome.
her dad was Ratcatcher 1.
But what I love is they don't try to give her a cool, fancy name. Not Ratcatcher 2.
To enter the country undetected. After finding Flag at a base camp for rebel soldiers, which was my favorite part of the movie, probably, aside from, we'll get there later. But they go through this camp who they think are all bad guys, and they brutally kill them all. Find Flag, who's just there like sipping coffee or something,
Yep.
and
Espresso.
they're like, "We're here to save you," and they're like, "What? I'm
freedom fighters."
I'm with them. Like, what are you talking about? Where's how are you here? Where is everyone else?" And they're like,
Oh, I didn't see anybody. My favorite part of that,
"Oh,
and it was, this is how you take something serious but not serious enough. Because he fucking, Peacemaker shoots a guy and he goes like super small bullets. They just rip right through the heart. And Bloodsport says to him, "No one likes a fucking show off." And he goes, "Well, they do when what they're showing off is dope as fuck."
yeah," and, like,
And
you
then
know.
Bloodsport turns around and he's like, "Damn, he's right." And I was like, "Oh, God, this is so fucking good."
This scene was to show off their powers and how and their personas,
And their armory, especially of Bloodsport and Peacemaker.
which it was brilliant.
Oh, man. You're watching it and, like, this is one of those movies where, especially as a big movie nerd, like both of us are, especially me. What was that? Fucking roll your eyes.
No, someone went.
He rolled his fucking eyes. You could probably see it in the goddamn camera. Asshole. But no, it's one of those.
She's still doing the lawn. That's why. I don't know what she's doing.
What a dick. It's one of those movies where it's just. This is why you go to see movies.
This is
You know?
like him doing Guardians of the Galaxy and going, "Can I do this? No. Can I do this? No. Can I do this? No." And then coming to DC and they're like, "We don't care. Just do whatever you want to
man.
do." And this comes out and it's brilliant.
Yep.
So I want to see if they. Sorry, I want to see.
Ruin the mic. I would love to see James Gunn do a fucking DC Marvel crossover, man.
I just want to see if he goes all out or more all out with the next Guardians of the Galaxy.
I wonder how Disney's going to feel about it. You know,
I don't think it'll be R-rated.
No, it would never be. And I think that's why he wanted to do it R. It's like Disney would never let him do an R.
And to think about it, the Guardians of the Galaxy is pretty balls out, but it's just this was R-rated balls out, literally.
It's so much fun, this movie, that anybody who were like, "Holy fuck, this is a lot of fun," go back and watch his movies before Guardians of the Galaxy. Where they're violent and they're gory and
movies?
crazy. He made I think his first. He used to do stuff for Troma Films. Troma sucks, but hey, at least we got James Gunn out of it. I think his first movie was an awesome movie about worms from outer space called Slither. That is fan-fucking-tastic.
I might have seen it.
It's great. And then he made a movie, even better movie. He's probably made one or two. He wrote the remake of Dawn of the Dead that Hack Snyder destroyed, but he wrote that. He wrote the Dawn of the Dead remake. Then he.
That's not the one in the mall.
That is the one in the mall, but remember there was the one from the 70s, the Romero one that he made, and then Hack Snyder did a new version in 2004, I believe.
Small note: in the one in the mall has the girl being doggy styled in it,
I've seen a lot of movies
and
where
the
girls get
boob.
doggy style.
You see her boobs and everything. Like she gets doggy styled. That girl I met on set during a filming of Decoys in
Was
Ottawa.
she being doggy styled while you
No,
were meeting
no,
her?
no.
Do you also notice who's doggy styling her? Phil from Modern Family. He's the
Was
heel in
it?
that movie. But yeah, no. One more thing to watch at James Gunn's a Rainn Wilson movie called Super. It is so fucking good. He plays a guy who wants. They got a message from God and became a superhero, and the way that he stops people is he cracks him in the head with a fucking wrench. And they don't. There's no holds bar when he hits people. Fucking blood starts spraying everywhere. It is spectacularly
I'll
good.
check these out. After finding Flag at base camp for the rebel soldiers, the squad convinces rebellion leader Solsaria to assist them.
Is she? I wonder if she's from the comic books. She seems like a character that's.
I'm
probably
sure
gonna be
all of
around.
these are. I'm sure it's pretty much verbatim except for just amplified.
No, I think this was solely a James Gunn story, but he probably grabbed people from the comics.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure characters. Yeah. There, he put Mantis in one of the shots.
Oh, really?
Not in the Mantis costume.
Not Mantis from.
Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Really, eh?
The actress.
Oh,
She's
I see.
one of the dancers in one of the scenes, and it just pretty much is like a cameo, and then it goes away. Nothing happens with her.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Fuck, I hate the movie now.
Okay, so the squad accomplishes their next objective. Wait, nope. Yep. The squad accomplishes
This
their
is a
next...
riveting reading of the plot synopsis.
Hey, you know what to expect now. The squad accomplishes their next objective of capturing the Thinker, a metahuman scientist in charge of Project Starfish, while also being joined by Harley Quinn. Okay, so this part I hate.
Really?
The stuff in the bus, the
Yeah.
stuff in the-
I wouldn't say I hate it, but it was the lower
in that
point of the movie.
restaurant or bar, whatever it was, and the stuff. Yeah,
I love
stuff after
Polka Dot
that.
Man seeing his mother dancing all around him. I fucking just
any
love
scene of that is great,
Right.
And good CG. Like,
Yeah,
this movie had great CG.
It was really, really fun. The only thing I was bummed by is Peter Capaldi can go really over the top, and he wasn't going over the
he's
top
good.
until the end.
Yeah.
In the end, his speech at the end is fucking amazing.
Yeah, you're used to that from Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Yeah.
He plays another show. Shit, I heard somebody talking about it and recommended it. Some British show where he's like a lawyer or something. Apparently, he goes right over the fucking top in it.
The Harley Quinn part where she is stuck with one of the big bad guys.
The president, current president.
She turns on him and like says, I can't deal with you. What was the
You're-
one thing that caused her to hate
She
him?
said, I love you, but I can't be with you because you're going to be like every other guy who breaks my heart. So I'm going to I'm going to kill you before you get a chance to break my heart.
Which is why you never want to get with Harley Quinn, because if you're even like the perfect man, which this guy wasn't, but if you are the perfect man, she's still going to turn on you because you're, one, not the Joker, and two, you're too perfect. You're going to go away.
That is one thing I really like this movie got right with Harley Quinn, in that Harley Quinn, and I've never seen Birds of Prey, and I never will watch it.
Oh,
But,
her last movie?
yeah,
It was shit.
really,
I
no
hated
interest in
it.
But
was
Harley
bored.
Quinn is enough to survive on her own, right? She doesn't need the Joker. She doesn't need any of the other rigmarole. Her one comic series I really did read and really did enjoy was Injustice.
I love Injustice.
Yeah, her story in that was
Put
so good.
that in the theater.
Right? But that's what his Hack Snyder's fucking stupid Justice League was supposed to be.
No,
Because it sucked.
it's not Injustice.
Well, because it sucks. But lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, Harley Quinn. She
Okay,
doesn't
no,
need the Joker.
the whole point of Injustice is Superman goes too far, and he like kills the Joker. Yeah, he killed the Joker,
Right.
and then
Batman turns against him, and they
yeah,
go
and,
against Justice.
okay, so
There's
I get,
Miss Bear.
I get what you're saying, but it wasn't Injustice. That comic book was
me.
amazing, and that video game did well too.
I never. It came. Was the video game first, or was the game first?
I think they came together.
Did they?
Okay, they did the video game, and they're like, we'll do a comic book with it.
Oh, really? That's
And
how
then they
did it.
did the multiple series of the comic book
My point is that
chapter volumes.
Harley Quinn is good enough to be a front character. You know, she doesn't need
Yeah.
to be behind the Joker, and that was one thing I always fucking hated about Suicide Squad is she keeps on going on and on about Mr. J.
But could you imagine if we had a good enough Joker that could like even outdo Harley and be like them two tandem in a movie?
It's certainly not Jared Leto.
No, it wouldn't be.
But
But
for me, that was one of the things I really liked about this is Harley Quinn was given room to breathe.
yeah,
You know, because she's a good character.
I say don't give her a new movie.
No.
Give her another of these.
Yep. And another thing I did like about this movie is the Suicide Squad or the Suicide Squad could not defeat Superman, right? Even all together as a group, they couldn't defeat Superman. And I loved that they left that out of this movie.
I was surprised because I was thinking maybe the end would get there, but maybe they're just not there yet.
But I don't think it's ever going to be there.
Didn't
because
they say Superman has gone bad?
Not in this one. They said that Bloodsport shot him and put him in the ICU with a kryptonite bullet.
Oh, okay. I thought they said okay.
They might have. I don't
they-
think so. But what I did like was anything regarding Batman or Superman or other DC people is left out of this. The Suicide Squad's only reason to exist is to be expendable for Amanda Waller.
yeah.
I fucking loved that. That is exactly who the Suicide Squad is. That's why, they had the suitcase that just had Zelda. Just had all these people like fucking sticky taped their names on them. Oh, this guy's dead. Fucking replace this guy. Like they were
You
replaceable.
just press the button and their head explodes.
Yeah, they were replaceable B characters, and it's so fucking good.
They have a video game coming that is the Suicide Squad based on like the movie, but not exact, where the big bad guy is Superman.
Oh, really? Eh? That'd be cool. I don't know.
I'll send you the trailer if I remember.
But logically, I guess if Bloodsport put him in the ICU with a kryptonite bullet, he could arguably maybe take down Superman, but nobody else in the
It would be
fucking.
quite a movie.
It would, but nobody else could take him down.
It would. It probably end with Superman winning or something else like diverting his attention, and then 2 or 3 of them survive.
But then it would be
Always going to be Harley Quinn and the Shark or something.
But then there's a possibility it could turn out as bad as Batman vs Superman. So,
not with James Gunn.
good point.
Oh, where am I? Okay.
So
Yeah. So my point, we're getting back to this point. She was stuck in the castle or something with this guy, and they are going off to save her because she's a damsel in distress. Whereas as they're coming to save her, waiting for you to grab on that one, she completely destroys this
Coming for
castle.
Harley. And yeah, that was fun.
And she exits before they even get there. And as they're like starting to climb the wall, she's just walking by.
Yep.
Hey guys.
What are you doing? I like we're rescuing you. She goes, well, that's so nice. I can go back inside if you want me to. Like it's such a.
It's a little condescending.
It's not, but it's not played. And even, what is it? Bloodsport. He goes, that's patronizing.
Yeah.
But it's not played for a joke. It's just played like conversation. That's where James Gunn fucking shines, man. That's where all the great scenes of. I mean, like yeah, that's where the great scenes of James Gunn really fucking shine in this throwaway dialogue.
He's amazing with dialogue. Just like everything really. Breaking into Jotunheim, most of the squad rigs the facility with explosives as Flag and Ratcatcher 2 enter the underground laboratory. Accompanied by the Thinker, they discover Project Starfish to be Starro the Conqueror.
Who's a real fucking character from Suicide Squad. I did not know that.
Yep. They've also done little cameos of Starro the Conqueror and something else, but I don't remember. Might be the video game, might be something else. Starro is floating in space, and then the Americans discover him, take him. I think it might have been Nazis. Who knows?
No, it's Americans.
Okay, Americans. Oh, that's right. Americans
Don't
discover.
you remember the end of the movie?
Bring him down to Earth, keep him locked up, give him to the Thinker, I guess, and give him lots of money to figure out this thing.
Basically, somehow weaponize it.
Yep. Starro can create little starfishes, throw them on people. They attach to their faces, and they become like zombies, like
Yep.
arms of this character. Not literally, but you know. So you're welcome for the pause. The thinker reveal. Nope. Okay, I already figured that one. The thinker reveals that Starro was brought to Earth. Okay, we did that.
Did you just print them out twice?
No, I just didn't read that part. Peacemaker, under the secret orders to cover up the U.S.'s involvement, kills Flag after he refuses to surrender a hard drive containing evidence of all this information about Starro.
Yep.
But Ratcatcher 2 manages to obtain the drive.
Good old Ratcatcher.
Everything in this location is brilliant. Everything in this movie is brilliant. I keep saying it. It's awesome.
I fucking loved when Peter Capaldi starts fucking freaking out about what your government has done. Holy Christ. He just starts going, just ratcheting and ratcheting up the madness. I was like, holy fuck.
They just told him, go for it.
This is so fucking good.
Okay, go on.
I was going to say the ending of the movie
I'll get there.
Is the only part of the movie that oh God, what's the right way to describe it? It's the only way to the movie only part of the movie that feels enforced is the wrong way to put it, but they're constantly when they're all fighting together, they're fighting their own battles but in the same vicinity, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like
I getcha.
Peacemaker's doing his thing, Bloodsport's doing this thing. This in the end of this is where they really come together as the Suicide Squad, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted kind of less of that. It was great, don't get me wrong, but I kind of wanted less of that, like Bloodsport being, how the fuck am I going to do this? And Harley Quinn being like, how the fuck am I going to do it? Like all on their own. But what it turned into where they all did work together, that was great.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a skirmish between the squad and the Corto Maltese military.
That was great, yeah. Harley Quinn couldn't figure out what she's sitting there, she's like, what are they called? Malichians?
Maltesers?
Maltesers?
Leads to Polka Dot Man accidentally setting off the explosives prematurely. During the ensuing chaos, Bloodsport saves Ratcatcher 2 by shooting Peacemaker, while Starro escapes the laboratory, killing the Tinkerer in the process.
The Tinker? The Thinker?
The Thinker.
I said the Tinker.
It's all the same. He does the same. He tinkers.
Do you remember what Polka Dot Man said when he dropped the explosives?
No, I can't remember things.
He went, oh, fiddlesticks. And that made me fucking laugh. When he said it, he goes, oh, fiddlesticks, when he drops them.
Why did he drop them?
Who cares? Bag broke, I guess.
As Starro begins to enslave the island's population, Waller informs the squad that their mission is over. However, Bloodsport leads his teammates in battling Starro, while Waller's subordinates subdue her. Oh my God! Subordinates subdue her to prevent her from.
I like how she got subdued. They take a fucking like a golf club to the side of her head.
Yes, and it was like all of a sudden. It was just
that was great. And the girl's like, "What the fuck are you all doing?"
But she wasn't dead, right?
No, they just smacked her.
Should've
Neck. Remember
killed
they
her.
show her later with the fucking thing.
Should have killed her.
No, Amanda Waller's great.
I know, but it would be
You
nice
know
to have
what
a
I
successor.
don't want to fucking see? A goddamn TV show where Amanda Waller is like, oh, I'm kidnapped by the TVA. Oh, Amanda Waller, you're a nice person because you watched a fucking video and you can apologize now. You're right, I am a nice fucking person. That's the exact fucking story of Loki. Now, would you want to see Amanda Waller?
That was a previous episode that we did. Go watch
right.
it. Go watch Loki. I mean, our episode of
Don't
Loki.
watch Loki.
No, watch it.
Watch Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad.
Polka Dot Man is killed, but the squad weakens Starro enough for Ratcatcher 2 to summon the city's rats against the extraterrestrial, which chew Starro to death from its insides.
Well, Harley fucking fires the javelin and it fucking opens his eyeball up and then she goes and she's swimming in this guck.
Which is awesome. In his eyeball.
Then all the rats come in and they're eating it. God, it was so
beautiful.
fucking good.
Somehow that was beautiful.
It was, yeah, it was amazingly fucking done.
The squad's battle, having drawn the Corto Maltese military away from the capital, also allows Soria to take control of the government, which she pledges to reform. Who cares?
But it was not a major plot point, and it was just kind of throwaway.
It was a throwaway. It was nothing.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. I didn't care.
One thing I did like, and I didn't think it would stick with me, is in the end, when, you know, they kill the bad guy or whatever, there's always a throwaway line from the bad guy. You know what I mean? The bad guy always has to have fucking something to say.
Oh, okay.
And I love that as fucking Starro's sitting there dying, he goes, I just wanted to stare at the stars.
Yeah.
You know? And you're like, aw, kind of feel bad for Starro.
Yeah, Starro was not the villain in this.
Right? But I did like that. You're like, aw, kind of feel bad for him. I mean, he did kill a whole shit ton of people, but aw.
Well, he was
Just doing his
treated
thing.
like crap the whole time. What do you expect? Using the drive as leverage, Bloodsport forces Waller to release him and his surviving teammates in exchange for keeping its contents confidential, allowing them to be airlifted out of Corto Maltese. Post-credit scenes reveal that Weasel from the first team is still alive in Corto Maltese, while Peacemaker is also still alive under government care, and he's got an HBO show coming.
That's going to be fucking fun, man. John Cena as the heel is great.
Unfortunately, we'll never see him.
Why?
It's his catchphrase. Can't see me.
I know what the...
Oh, okay. You're welcome.
Jesus Christ.
Had to do the joke. That was the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Oh, man. I was looking forward to... I was nervous.
No
for this
questions?
movie, and then I was looking forward to it, and then absolutely exceeded all my
You
expectations.
were so into it that you didn't bother touching your phone to put questions down.
I was just... The only thing that... And it was funny. My son, who is every now and then your kids do something. You're like, oh my God, that's right. You are related to me. We're watching the movie,
We did a good Dalt impression.
and Dexter goes, there's a... What? I can't remember exactly how he said it, but he's like, Polka Dot Man's supposed to upchuck twice a day to get rid of the polka dots, right? I'm like, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
And he's like, he hasn't thrown out to me anytime recently. He goes, well, maybe he has, but off screen. Yeah. But they should have shown that. He's like, so that's kind
It
of...
should have been like
plot hole,
a
that's what he called it.
constant thing. It would be awesome if it was more than twice a day.
And
it was
just
just
every
like
now and then
every
he's
he's in the
upchucking everywhere.
background. While they're killing people going through the thing, he's like in the background going.
I didn't even think of it until Dexter brought it up. I'm like, holy shit, you're right. So that was kind of not a plot hole or a problem, but that would have been fun to watch. But yeah, every fucking part of it, I don't care for the character of Harley Quinn.
I love it when done well.
I find, and this is one thing that I said I said with the first one, it still applies to this one. Margot Robbie is a gorgeous woman.
Oh yeah,
Harley Quinn is a sexy character.
yeah.
Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, I have zero attraction for.
I can see that.
Something about her just doesn't work for me. Because I see Margot Robbie as such a good actress, and I see that Harley Quinn is a cool character.
She doesn't play the character
That's exactly what
sexy.
it is.
That's the whole
Yep.
thing. She
That's
plays
exactly
it
what it is.
as she's like this silly, like
Kind of a nut job.
out of it kind of thing. And I think that's shown in this movie at one point where it shows her point of view of things and how she's like,
Birds.
yeah,
and
this is how
flowers.
she sees the world, and then you get an idea of how she's like how she is.
But I'm because you've seen all these girls. Like, remember, holy fuck, 2016. You couldn't go anywhere without seeing some girl dressed as Harley Quinn. And
Oh, yeah.
It was awful because I was like,
It stopped once the Birds of Prey came out. That was so boring.
but I was like, I was glad that Harley being a sex symbol wasn't part of this movie.
She still is in general, the character, but yeah, she doesn't play it that way. That's great.
Yeah, she wasn't sexualized in this. But yeah,
She
oh
was
my
a
god.
little bit when she had the red dress on.
But it was more.
But it was more playful.
I wouldn't say it was sexualized as, like the way they had it in the fucking first movie, where she's like bending over in her short shorts and shit.
Yeah.
And this one, she was more like a kind of like a Spanish, not a conquistador.
It was kind of forced by the
But the situation,
the
she's in
dude,
Spain
yeah.
and she's in this beautiful flowing dress and she's dancing what was the Simpsons, the fucking dance that gets you pregnant.
Yeah, the point was it's not her way,
Okay, that's what you mean.
but she made it work. She had fun in it.
Margot Robbie is, she's a gorgeous woman, but she's also a really good fucking actress. Like, when you watch her in that I, Tonya, that Tonya Harding.
I haven't seen that
documentary.
one yet. I've been meaning to.
She's great. She's and she's just, you don't see Margot Robbie. You see Tonya Harding. She was really good. She was good in fucking Wolf of Wall Street. She's been good in all the stuff she's been in.
All right, so we're going late. This has been 43 minutes now.
Holy fuck!
So, what would you rate it?
Oh, fuck. Easily. The best of the DC movies, absolutely. If I had to rate it, I don't know. I'd probably give it like a 8.5 out of 10. I don't want to go as high as 9, but definitely 8.5 out of 10. And the best of the DC movies, hands fucking down. Don't say fucking Snyder cut. Oh my god.
No, I'm trying to think of a rating. I think 8 would be good because I think it can get better. Like if you were to add like a huge character to the bunch, or like them fighting.
He was made a huge character.
No, but I mean like like Batman, Superman, Joker. Like that's how you introduce a new Joker.
See, I feel like they were left out of it because these guys are not the brooding Batman. They're not the go all great guy Superman.
Well, the point is that they're there to go against bad guys.
Right.
So like if Superman's not bad yet, that doesn't make sense. But this would be a great way. Like, can you imagine if the next Suicide Squad was against a new Joker, and it was done by Gunn, and you'd have that conflict. Like she doesn't want to kill Joker. She does. She wants to get back at him, but really she doesn't. And that would come into play.
And it would be done, I think, really well by James Gunn. You know what I mean?
And at the end of the other Suicide Squad in 2016, she goes with Joker in a helicopter, right?
Yep. Unfortunately, I remember watching.
And then the helicopter gets blasted down, and Joker dies or something. Dies.
Well, not the only, but one thing I did like about watching the first Suicide Squad is it was all filmed in Toronto. So I've been all where they were driving by. And
I didn't know that.
I've been there. I've been there. It was fun watching that. Same with The Boys. The Boys is all filmed in Toronto. The Boys, there's so many scenes that take place right across from the TIFF Lightbox that I was watching a message a buddy of mine, Adrian. Him and I would always go to the movies down there. I was like, holy fuck, like we have stood right where they're standing right now.
It's interesting how many things are shot in Vancouver, Montreal, and Toronto.
Yep.
And then now the big thing is Georgia.
Is it really? Oh, yep. You're right.
I think Netflix has a big studio down there, and then a whole bunch of other places are down there now because big tax credits, I think.
Same with yeah. Oh, you said Quebec.
Yeah, all the Quebec and Toronto and Vancouver. It's all big tax credit haven. It's great.
Fucking Canadians.
Well, we're great, and Tim Hortons. So, anyway, thanks for watching. What's our show called again?
Because I'm just a podcast. What do we call it again? Because watch. What the fuck is it called again?
Why should we
Because
watch?
movies.podcast.com at Tinder.
BecauseMoviesPodcast.com. You can go there. You can find all our links. Join everything.
You can see a whole library of nudes.
Oh, you know
of
what?
Different shirts that Phil has forced me to change out of.
Since we're begging, please show your friends these shows. Share them.
Share them. Goodbye, everybody. Till when we run out of shit to say, we're like, we're finished.
Yeah, we're done. It's been 2 hours, more than that.